Aita! What is that? Is that either A, a karate sound, or B, is it the subreddit of today? That was a trick question. It's neither. I sneezed, and you didn't say bless you. AITA for asking my friend to pay me back for the wine he drank while house sitting. That's tough, isn't it? So I, 26-year-old female, had my friend, a 27-year-old male, watch my place and my cat for the weekend. I told him he could help himself to whatever in the kitchen, which I thought was just like common sense for snacks and stuff. I get back and realize he opened this $120 bottle of vintage Barolo I was saving for my promotion. He literally drank the whole thing alone while watching Netflix. When I asked him about it, he got all weird and said I gave him permission because the wine was in the kitchen. Like, okay, but who drinks a $100 bottle of wine without asking first? Yeah, I think alcohol is different though. Like alcohol is so much more expensive than what friggin' Cheetos Puffs, those Cheetos Puffs naturals that everybody has in their pantry, huh? Cheetos Puffs, natural Cheetos, but naked, poking out of that pantry, huh? You guys know what I'm talking about? Jesus. Yeah. I sent him a Venmo for $80, gave him a discount, LOL. Wow. And now he's calling me tacky and told our group chat I'm a bad host. I feel like there's literally an unwritten rule of guest logic where you don't touch the most expensive thing in the house. Also, there's like $2 Chuck wine everywhere. I don't know. Like people don't know wine, but I feel like if you know there's alcohol involved, alcohol is generally more expensive than Cheetos Puffs. Like the snack pack you can get from Sam's Club, 30 of them. How much was that? 120? Probably get 8 of these. If I tell you to help yourself to my garage, it doesn't mean you can just drive off in my car. Well, I mean, if you're saying help yourself to my garage, that's probably exactly what that means. What's the deal? You got 6 cars in your garage and you're going to get grumpy when one of them leaves? You got only 1 car in your garage, you're saying, hey man, help yourself. And you gesture to the freaking 2001 Honda Civic in your garage and you don't want me to steal the catalytic converter? Cheap. I don't know. Am I the a-hole here? He's been making me feel like I'm being extra, but I feel like he totally took advantage of me. I don't know. It's also just $120. Don't say that. Just ain't a word when it comes to $120, dude. It's groceries for the week, at least, right? Wine is famously something that could be like cheap or more expensive. Or surprise microphone! Wine is tricky, right? Because there's $2 Chuck. There's like the barefoot stuff that's like what, $5 or whatever at the grocery store, and then there could be stuff that's really, really expensive. You don't know. So I guess like a courtesy message of like, hey, does that include the wine? That would be cool, right? But I mean, you know, you did tell him help himself to whatever. But yeah, he probably wasn't able to tell what kind of wine it was. Most wines are like max are like what, $20 or something. I think this could have been communicated better. Hey, help yourself to whatever. You know, just not the alcohol. I'm saving that. That could have been on you to communicate a little bit more effectively. Anyway, let's see the comments. It says you told him to help himself whatever he did. Most people can't distinguish between a $15 and a $120 bottle of wine, and most people aren't going to read a receipt you left laying around either. You're the asshole. This one's on you. Further to this, unless Op told the friend what the bottle of wine was for, then the friend most likely assumed Op was providing him a lovely vino to chill with while looking after his cats. Interesting. Help yourself to whatever. There's like a bottle of wine there. I don't know, because like you go to an Airbnb or whatever, you go to like a nicer establishment or something, and they give you a little complimentary something sometimes, right? Some of them, maybe. I don't know, dude. You're the a-hole. You should just chalk this up to miscommunication. Interesting. You said help yourself to anything in the kitchen. If you had told him prior, except for that bottle of wine I'm saving for my promotion, you could ask for full compensation. But this one is on you. Swallow your ego and let this go, my dude. It'll be better for the friendship. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and also, if you just got a promotion and you're Venmo requesting for $80 and stuff, you know, money can get in the way of a lot of things. Money can get in the way of a friendship. It sucks that you lost $120. That feeling is valid, but where's the source of it? It's from you not expressly going, help yourself to whatever in the kitchen, just not the super expensive stuff. Like not the wine. It's not unreasonable to expect people not to drink expensive wine if they know it's expensive, if they know you were saving it, and if you asked them not to, but you didn't. The wine was in the kitchen, you didn't tell them not to drink it, and you did tell them to help themselves to whatever was there. This is 100% on you, and you are out of line for trying to make the person who did you a favor pay you. You're the a-hole. Oh, yeah. If you did not pay him and now you're asking for him to pay you, that's crazy. Because now he's going to like, he in your brain, he owes you $80 for watching your house and your cat for the weekend. $40 a day for the privilege of watching your house and your cat and cleaning up litter boxes and all that stuff. Fascinating. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It looks like this one is a miscommunication error. I had mixed feelings at first, but now getting it spelled out that there's a potential that he did her a favor. He wasn't even getting paid for this. And it was never communicated to him. YTA, we're starting off strong. AITA for beating my date in a game game of pool. So for context, I am quite good at the game. I play regularly against good opponents, 2 of which are in my country's nationals. Jesus. Whoa, okay, you're very good. Okay. So I went on a date with a girl last Saturday, went to a pool bar, as she had mentioned she likes playing pool. I said I know a spot, I picked her up at her place, and we went to the bar, we got some drinks, settled, and then we played our first game. I was taking it easy, just enjoying the moment. We played a few rounds, then ate. While talking, I mentioned to 2 mates of mine who play nationals, so she then said, next game, don't go easy on me. Hey, I'm gonna stop right there. That sounds like permission. Hey, sometimes, dude, you want to see somebody be great at something. In my opinion, let's say that you guys went, if you met on like Hinge or something, or Tinder, or whatever picture-based dating profile is, and there was a picture of you playing pool and being really good at it, or like hoisting a pool trophy or something, or just like you on pool night, and she's like, hey, are you good at pool? Yeah, I'm really good at pool. All right, let's meet up. And that's that. Now she wants to see you do the thing. You know what I mean? Do it. Do the thing. That's permission, dude. Because sometimes it's hot. You see somebody who's really good at something, that is hot. Seeing somebody who's super skilled at something, tell me about it, dude. We played a few more. I made it a bit more challenging for her to win. Nothing impossible, just a bit more of a challenging game. And just before we left at around 10 to 11 p.m., we racked one last game, and I decided to just play it normally. I cleared the table on the break, not to show off, but just for fun. So you broke it, and then you just did every single ball and not give her a chance to play. Is that what that is? Okay, maybe my opinion's switching here. I don't know. I actually don't know. We finished our drinks and I paid the bill and we left. On the ride back to her place, she was extremely quiet. Like, noticeably less talkative. I thought nothing of it. She must have been tired. I dropped her off and went home. When I got home, I saw a message from her saying, I asked you not to go easy on me, but I didn't mean turn it into a statement. It honestly felt a bit like an ego thing at the end, and it made me uncomfortable. Pause. I need more information. And the information that I am looking for is the information of how did you act after you cleared that table? Was the whole time after that you're like, yeah, you ain't shit. You're not gonna ever touch me. You're lame. You're stupid. Did you get what you asked for? Did you get what you wanted? Huh, punk? Is that what you wished for? Huh? Is that what you wanted? Huh? Is that what you freaking wanted? If that's how you were behaving, then yes, very odd. Or if you were like, yeah, that was pretty good, huh? Yeah, I'm pretty good. I told you. I warned you. I warned you. Yeah. Yeah, you'll stop the next time you ask me to go out on a date and we're doing pool. Yeah, you better watch your back, girl. I could beat up everybody in this freaking place, dude. I could go Uncle Phil on the ass, pull out Bernice? What's the name of Uncle Phil's pool stick? Bertha? Betty? Betsy? Lucille! Oh, it's Lucille. Break out Lucille. That's what he says. Will and Carlton, or I think it's Will and Carlton, get themselves in trouble. Will gets himself in trouble with like trying to hustle hustlers and stuff. And then Uncle Phil comes in and he just destroys it. At first, he pretends to be really bad at pool. And then they're like, okay, well, you got to pay up. He's like, okay, double or nothing. And then finally,
how much? Let's say a nice round figure like $100 a ball. Okay, $100 a ball. Break out, Lucille.
Dude, yes, the aura! Yes! Dude, God, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was peak sitcom. It was peak sitcom. It was the best. Sitcoms in the 90s, The Nanny, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Nick at Night shows that would pop up on Nick at Night in the late 90s, early 2000s. Dude, they were the best. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was so good. Yeah, but that's you. You became this guy when she said not to take it easy on her anymore. You just suddenly turned into Uncle Phil, just destroying these hustlers, getting Will Smith out of trouble. And it's because of Uncle Phil in this moment that Will Smith will be back at the Oscars next year. I was taken aback by the message, and I haven't heard from her since, after sending her a message explaining it was nothing of the sorts. The last game wasn't me trying to show off or anything of the sort. I had a good break. I sunk 2 stripes and had a good positioning on the rest of them. Seeing as she said, don't go easy, I played it how I normally would. Am I the asshole? You're not giving her the opportunity to participate. That's what I think. I think you're not giving her the opportunity to participate. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see what Reddit has to say, because I really don't know how I feel about this. It's just really funny. Mild, you're the asshole. Next game, don't go easy on me. She asked you not to hold back. You continued to hold back, and she probably ended up feeling confident and good about herself. If you had just immediately not held back, I think she'd be the asshole for reacting poorly to what she asked for. What you did, though, was give the illusion of what she asked for, and then you pulled the rug out from under her. It was probably embarrassing, and it probably felt like being messed with. Breakout, Lucille. It doesn't really sound like it should be a big deal, but are you the asshole of the situation? Yeah, more so than anyone else. For what it's worth, she doesn't sound fun, though. I had to look for this answer. You're the asshole for toying with her. She said don't hold back, and you still did, and then you threw in an F you, I've been pretending this whole time, but I wanted to make sure you know how good I really am at the end. That would give me the ick, too. Not that you're good, but that you had babied me all night and then still had to show off at the end. You should have played to your strength when she first told you to. Then she may have been impressed rather than embarrassed that you continued to lie about your skills. Definitely lands like toying with her. If this had been the next game when she told you not to go easy, then fully justified, and it gives her the opportunity to decide how she wants to play a game with someone who's a lot better than she is. Maybe you add rules that make it harder for you. Maybe she laughs and says, okay, go a little easy on me. Maybe it takes any of 100 directions that end up being fun because you sorted them out together. This was letting her feel like she made a choice, but really you were controlling the whole thing. Nobody likes that feeling. That is interesting. Okay, cool. You were controlling the whole thing. You were withholding information for a little bit immediately after she asked you to go easy on her, and then suddenly you just kind of let the dam break or whatever. That's interesting, yeah. You know what would be fun if you did that again? Let me stop there. You're not going on another date with this person. She's already decided you're not. You ain't that guy, okay? She's like, uh-oh. If you had been like, I'm warning you, I'm actually really good at this. Like, I'm very good at this. So I will try my best, but it's going to be with my left hand. Let's do that. I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to play the entirely different thing. Do that. That's fun. And it's a little challenge and it's cute. And then you F up and you embarrass yourself. Embarrassing yourself on a date. Oh. What a way to bond. As a woman, I effing cannot stand it when a man takes it easy on me just because I'm a woman. A total aggravating turnoff. This is 100 replies. So would you rather have fun playing with a challenging player or to get obliterated in every game? When I was learning to play squash, the guys I played with could beat me without letting me score a single point. But that's not enjoyable for anyone. They took it easy. I learned to play because of the practice in those games and enjoyed myself. Okay. I'd rather you be honest in the beginning and not automatically take it easy because I'm a woman. Then I know if you can really kick my butt or if you're just pretending. After that, we decide if you should chill a bit so we can just have fun. Edited to add, we're also talking about a date, not learning to play something with a group of people. Yeah, it's a date. Be playful, have fun, go out, show off a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, yeah, fascinating guy. AITA for making a stink at school and forcing the teacher to change my kid's math grade. I'm gonna say yes. I haven't even looked at it, but yes. That's my current reaction. I think the title alone, I feel yes. But let's continue. My kid, 4th grade, has been struggling in math. It's been an ongoing issue. I'm sticking a yes. This whole year, she has struggled with multiplication and division specifically. It's been a constant issue, and it got even worse when they moved on to multiplying and dividing with multiple digits. I don't think I could divide with multiple digits right now. Hold on a second. Let me figure this out. Give me a math problem right now. Go. What's that? 42 divided by 4? Okay. I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm thinking about it right now, but I'm going to do the division. 42 divided by 4. Okay? Might be too bright. Can you even see it? So what you do is you take this number, 4 goes into 2 0 times. So how many times does 4 go into 4? 1. So the answer is 10. We've tried the school's tutoring, but overall, she's just not getting it. She doesn't get the method that they're teaching. She gets it wrong like 80% of the time. Is this like Common Core math? That shit is so complicated. It isn't easier and it's just more steps. Example, multiplying. You break up the numbers, draw boxes, and then multiply, and you finally add them all up. I decided to teach her the way that I learned, and she understands it. Homework is a million times easier now because she can actually solve the questions. The issue is that my daughter had a math test last week, and she came home upset. She got a 50%, even though she got most of the answers right. She missed 2 out of 25. So it should have been a 92%. I had a conversation with the teacher and it boiled down to she didn't use the method shown in class. I pointed out the test just to show their work and not show a specific method. The teacher basically went, too bad, and if that happens again, it'll be a 0. Now I'm not as like keen to be like, you're the a-hole, but you kind of are if that was the expectation of the class. It sucks though. This people's brains don't always think that way, but if you're trying to get them to go systematically and think of numbers numbers in a different way. Like singular teaching styles is so annoying to me. Like assimilate to the way that we think you should learn, or else consequence, or else you're going to get bad grades. And you're not going to get to the right college, and blah, blah, blah. Fourth grade is too young for that. But I was fed up and I went to the principal. I'll admit I made it a big deal because I think it's ridiculous that she got penalized for getting the right answers using a different method. It is math. You can solve problems in a lot of different ways. The teacher was brought in. She was forced to change my daughter's score, and they said it won't happen again. She can find the right answer any way she wants as long as she shows her work. The teacher was not happy. My wife thinks I was being an ass and keeps bringing it up. She says the teacher has other things to deal with and that I went overboard. Did I? Did you? The fact of the matter is, you went to the teacher first. You explained your concern. The teacher still said no. What would I do if that was my kid? I think you found a loophole in the test. The test said, show your work. It didn't say show the work of the Common Core, like math principles or whatever that's called. It just said, show your work. So technically, you're right. Technically, you did the right thing. And you showed your kid that if you're being asked to do something and you know how to do it and you show that you can do it, you deserve to get the correct score. But I also agree that there must be some reason why these schools are teaching math this way to get you to think a certain way that maybe it's beneficial down the road. But then again, we're the United States. We don't have the best education system. But if your wife thinks you're being an ass, keeps bringing it up, hopefully she's not friends with that teacher. Otherwise, you're screwed for a while. Let's see what the comments have to say here. Top comment, not the asshole. Oh, this is coming from an engineer. I have done so much math. You can solve questions using a ton of different ways, and some people just don't understand some methods. That's fine. I still find some methods confusing, so I just don't do that method. That's cool. I like that. If your daughter got the right answer using a different method, it is fine. She knows how to multiply, or multiple, I guess now. That is what's important. There will be more and more situations where you can solve stuff different ways and more methods that she will find confusing or easier. It is math. That's true. I think also like teaching kids that there's more than one way to solve a problem. Let's try to solve the problem this way. Let's try this way. You know, like that's like the way people practice piano is like there's different ways to do it. There's different scales, modes. There's different, routines. Like there's athletes eat different breakfasts. They run. There's so many different ways to crack an egg. You know what I'm saying? To skin a cat. You feel me? Also, the box method isn't even good for longer multiplication. It will be dropped in middle school. It's just one way to learn multiplication. The box method just breaks it down more. Some kids like it, others don't, and it makes it confusing. There's so many ways to learn how to multiple. I can't do long division the way my nephews have been shown to do it. I have a maths PhD and can do long division the old-fashioned way. Can you tell me how to do it? It's likely Common Core. Good. It was supposed to teach math in a way that better exposes the underlying concept and problem solving instead of rote memorization. In TA, you did everything the right way. You tried teaching her the way they wanted, and it was just causing more struggles. So you showed her a different way. The test said to show your work, which is exactly what she did. You tried talking to the teacher first and got nowhere, so you went to the principal. Clearly, the principal agreed with you, so now you have validation. Not all methods work for everyone, but forcing a kid to struggle that much doesn't make them smarter. It makes them feel less competent and can actually create a lot of anxiety around the subject or testing. Teaching should not be a hard line. You made every reasonable effort and it didn't work, so you found something that did. That is good parenting. Wow, everybody's saying NTA. AITA for making a stink at my school, for forcing my... I immediately was like, yeah, you are. You're a helicopter parent. That was the first thing I thought. Now knowing that the kid got a freaking 92% correct on the test. If we have to get to Mars, or if we have to calculate some kind of rocket to go obliterate an asteroid, if it was coming like a heat-seeking missile towards the Earth, you think they would care how you came up with that number? Actually, if it was like ChatGPT or something, they would care because that has a high likelihood of being incorrect. But do you think they would care if you didn't do your long division one way? If you didn't multiply by lining up cats together and counting how many grains of sand are in their litter box? I don't know. Is that how they teach math? How's your lunch, huh? I know you're watching this eating lunch. How was it? What are you eating? Tell me now! I have a suggestion for a snack after your lunch. Yeah, dude, take a look at this. You guys ever heard of Cheetos Puffs? They got Simply. It's pure delicious and white cheddar. Super good, dude. Or you could do the naked kind. You could buy them on eBay. AITA for kicking my mentally ill brother out of my house when he was treating my wife like garbage. No. So I'm a 34-year-old male. I am married and I own a home with my wife, a 26-year-old female in LA. Oh my God, are we friends? My younger brother is 32, and he has never lived on his own. He's lived with my dad until he's around 24, and then he moved into his girlfriend's parents' house until he was like 28 maybe, and then they broke up, so my dad gifted him a condo. God damn. Jeez. That was above his business. He got a ton of free passes with my dad. He trashed the condo. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Didn't take care of anything. And my dad finally decided to retire and sell it because he couldn't take it anymore. My brother's also on his third car, all bought by our grandfather. About 3 to 4 months ago, when he got kicked out, he came over to our door begging, and I knew exactly how it was going to go. I told him he had 1 month to get his crap together and kept caving into his needs after the month was expired. Now I'm understanding. I thought you were just like a caving hobbyist. My wife is an actress and she only books about once every 6 months. Dude, hey, for actors, twice a year for an actor right now in LA, that's pretty good, especially if it's a SAG deal. One national commercial, if it's Screen Actors Guild, could pay you anywhere from like $20,000 to $40,000, depending on how much they air a commercial. And that's how a lot of these actors make their living, is that like they're in 2 or 3 commercials that are airing at the same time, and they get a couple of checks in, and that's what it looks like. But it takes 6 months to book one thing. This is pretty good. She does auditions / classes daily for an hour or two. She mostly does housewife stuff. I told him right off the bat she was not doing any of it for him. I don't care if he's working 5 jobs. He is doing his own laundry, cleaning, and cooking. Great. Good for you. Good for you. You set down a boundary. You said what you needed to say. Good for you. That's excellent. Good. Of course, he left messes. He threw his laundry on the floor, made the argument that he is working full time and she is not. I was like, this is her home? Then when I told him he'd have to pay bills 2 months in, he got mad and said, she does not pay bills. She is my wife and she takes care of our home. Yo, that right there, if my brother told me, well, she doesn't pay bills, I'll be like, you talking about my wife? You talking about my wife, brother? You say my wife doesn't pay bills? Are you saying my wife doesn't pay bills and you want to be compared to my wife now? How about you give me a little kiss on the mouth, brother? Huh? Let's start there. How about we Game of Thrones this shit, see what you're really made of? Maybe we shouldn't keep in the Game of Thrones thing. How weird are you to compare yourself to your brother's wife in a means to ask her to do for you? You dork, you loser. That's crazy loser behavior. Oh my God. I don't use that word. I don't like that word. Loser, hate it. But oh God. Anytime I told him to stop making extra work for her, he would say, she's a housewife. She's doing it for you. So I don't understand why she can't for me. Oh, this is driving me up the wall. He even asked why I get to have my laundry done and meals cooked for me, but he can't and works as much as me because she's not your wife. She's not both of your wives. She's not a maid. She's not a live-in maid. The fact that she and her husband have an agreement that she's doing this for him because she loves him and because they have an agreement is like a sacred relationship that they have with each other, and you're trying to like wedge yourself in there and like mess with the dynamic of the house. You're fucking everything up. You're like, you're an idiot. God, what are you doing? Holy God. It drove me crazy. He would also make noises while my wife was in auditions, which was frustrating to her. What kind of noises? Not even accidental, like screaming, watching a sports game 5 seconds after we told him she was going on Zoom. This was one of my breaking points. I booked my TV show, Dinner with the Parents, from a Zoom audition. I did it over Zoom. Actually, I was at VidCon when I had my final callback to play Greg on Dinner with the Parents. I was literally at VidCon with a VidCon bracelet on, having just performed the night before on a Zoom call in a hotel. I had a script on my iPad. I had my laptop out. Zoom call for an hour with like CBS executives and stuff like that, and the director of the show and the showrunner. Zoom calls book work. It's the final callback a lot of times nowadays because they don't have time to do a chemistry read. They don't have time to fly you out to where they are. This show was shooting in London. They didn't have time to do all that stuff. So sometimes Zoom calls are how you book work. And if you're on a Zoom call as an auditioning actor, that is make or break. And if you got some asshole in the other room being like, no, Boston sport, how you did bad sport, bad. A lot of these auditions for these young women are like, they're crying or they're like going through an emotional thing, or they're trying to be like, whatever. There's so many places you have to put yourself in, and you're dealing with that asshole. Anyway, God, I hate this guy. I don't care what the comments say. I hate this guy. Personally, hate him. She has dedicated her whole life to this since she was like 9. When I started making good money, the first thing I was excited about was that she could focus on her dreams. Husband of the year. Come on. That's so cool. Good man, dude. Yes. Good dude. Dude, this guy is a good guy. I like this guy. She finally got a good agent. Her auditions she gets are huge, and she is on cloud 9. As soon as he started doing this, I noticed she was getting stressed. One of the main issues is that he works nights. He was there all day while I was at work, and if she asked him to be quiet, he did not care. He said he didn't consider it a career, and he didn't think she'd make it, so he didn't feel the need to care. He didn't think she'd make it? Brother. Oh, brother, this guy stinks, dude. This guy. Was this story written to rage bait me, dude? Oh my gosh, I feel crazy right now. I'm actually sweating. As if her making it or not changed anything about it being her home and her dreams. If I was home and told him to shut up, he would. However, during the day, he did not listen to her and made her cry. Kill him. Just get him gone a little bit. That was the day I told him to get out when he made her cry. He's had enough free passes. It's time to grow up. My other brothers got mad. You have other brothers? Pawn him off to them. Said I'm heartless because he's struggling mentally, but the guy's been struggling mentally since he was 16 and has never attempted therapy, meds, or anything. He just cries and relies on everyone to do everything. It's not your fucking responsibility. He is not your responsibility. There are leniencies that you can give people who are trying, but ultimately, if they're not trying for themselves, trying to better themselves, if they're actively making your marriage worse, if they're making your household dynamic a mess, if they're literally actively dirtying up your house, I don't care if you're my brother. I don't care if you're my dad. I don't care who you are. You're responsible for yourself around me. This is a standard that I have for my household. And if I built it with my wife, you will listen to our standard. And that's it. And the medication stuff and the mental health. Look, dude, if you're bipolar, if you got, BPD, or whatever it is you got going on, that's a real thing. It's very real and it sucks. And it is up to you. And it is your responsibility if you are a grown adult to try to manage that symptom. Try to help yourself, okay? Try to get something going for you. Yeah, protect your wife. That's what I'm thinking. And here we have this response, which is it's a different direction that I was thinking, but I guess it makes sense. It's you're the asshole to your wife. He sounds like you knew exactly what was going to happen. You told your brother at the start he had a month. You laid down the rules and let him break them all. You let him stay longer, and it took him making her cry for you to finally kick him out. That's 16,000 upvotes. This story has 11,000 upvotes. So more people think that he's an asshole for letting him move. I guess that, yeah, totally. I agree with that. Sure. Yeah. I mean, there were so many times here earlier that I was reading. I was like, why let him in at all? Yeah, no, I'm with that. I'm with that. Yeah. Some people, I don't know, you hope that people can change. You let them crash on your couch for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, whatever. You have a month. Right? That's enough leeway because he became homeless. He knocked on your door essentially, right? Came to the door begging, and that was your attempt to go, all right, man, if you're begging, if you really want to get down this road, you have to do exactly this. He didn't do that. Took you a long time. It did take you a long time. He owes it to her to remove the brother a month ago, at the very least immediately. Time to divorce his brother. I mean, this is the real one here. Yeah. I wonder if he even asked her before moving him in. Whoa, good question. But what happens if your brother shows up at your door? Literally at your door. Do you say like, hey, go wait in the car. I need to talk to my wife about this. I don't know. That's tricky. That is something that you kind of have to mentally prepare for and figure out, like, what's the game plan for this? Do I say, I'm going to talk to my wife in the other room. We're going to figure it out. We're going to come up with a plan. We'll get back to you. But is there somewhere you can go, like head out to a cafe, head out to blah, 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 and we'll chat with you for a sec. I don't know. That's very mechanical though, isn't it? Mostly you're the asshole because you let him move in. Then when it got worse, you waited months before kicking him out. See, that's the big deal. I think once you set a precedent of like, yes, it's going to be a month though, and I'm going to kick you out. And if you keep going and you have those repeat reminders and you're like, hey man, just so you know, you got 3 weeks. I'm not extending your stay. Figure it out. Another week goes by. Hey man, just so you know, 2 weeks, your move out date is this. What are you doing about it? You don't even need to ask. Just so you know, you're out of here blank. I think just the reminders. I know everybody's adults. You don't have to do this. You don't. But if you want to be certain that they're not going to extend their stay, that's something you could do. Just constant reminders, She got an agent. For F's sake, what an accomplishment. He actively sabotaged your wife's auditions. Your wife suffered due to your procrastination with mishandling your brother. And then Op did reply. They said, I agree. I have a ton of regrets. I thought maybe it was my chance to help him down a better path, but I should have kicked him out sooner. So a bit of a people pleaser here. You try to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try with my brother. I am. He's coming to my house. He's begging me for help. I have a somewhat successful life. I have a decent place to live and a wife whom I love. I'm in a good enough place to where theoretically it would not end my world if I let my brother in. However, what I didn't account for was that my brother is a loser nightmare person. And you did account for it though. You did. You said you knew it was going to happen. So I hope you're doing something truly special for your long-suffering and patient wife. New microphone, better camera, backdrop, lights, sound baffling. This is actually a really good suggestion. Dude, if you're dating an actress who does self-tapes, you want to impress her? Get her a nice softbox like the one up here. This light here. Get her some nice lighting. That's a great move. Anything to show support and celebrate the new level she's attained despite roadblocks. Tell her break a leg from an internet stranger. I began in the performing arts and I am cheering for her. And you know what? I wish her the best too. Guy, if you're watching this, give her a big old high five for me, huh? Just tell her, hey, great job. Sorry your brother sucks though, man, geez. NTA, why aren't your brothers taking him in and doing his laundry, etc.? If he's working full time, why can't he rent his own place? And that's what I'm thinking too. It's probably because in LA, you have to earn at least 3 times your monthly rent, which is freaking crazy. If you can't do that, you have to get a guarantor, you know, and probably nobody wants to guarantee this guy. And rent is hella expensive. A studio by yourself out here is what, $2,500 a month, $2,700 a month, depending on where you're going. It's insane. It's insanely expensive. So you have to like split rent with somebody else, get a 2-bedroom for $35,000 or $4,000 a month. So you're spending $2,000 a month. So he would have to earn like $6,000 to $8,000 a month. That's a lot, dude. Being alive is expensive. Surely I'm the only one who's ever thought that, right, guys? Anyway, folks, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a decent week. Be well, be good, and you know what? Protect your homestead. All right, if you're lucky enough to have a spouse or a partner that you love dearly, protect that stuff, dude. Don't let any poison get through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? And with that said, I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones. No, I'm not. Outro. God damn it.